We wanted to avoid this. We did everything we could to avoid this. Hi, my name is Kaya, and I'm asking for your help. I'm a 25-year-old disabled abuse survivor who's been diagnosed twice with DID. DID is a dissociative disorder that's caused by prolonged and repeated childhood trauma. Having DID means that the trauma I experienced in my childhood caused me to develop fragmented, separate identities that helped me to survive a lifetime of trauma and abuse. These identities, you may have heard them called personalities before, we call them alters, alternate states of identity, have helped me to navigate life without being completely overwhelmed by the memories of that trauma and abuse. Some alters remember the trauma and others experience amnesia and don't remember it, which means they're much more able to handle daily life. So DID is essentially a severe, very complex form of PTSD. I created this YouTube channel, DissociaDID, and helped to build a community here. Together, my system and I, my alters and I, we create content about our life experience with DID and trauma and abuse, and we help to support other people with their mental health, try and raise awareness for and destigmatize our disorder and other mental health disorders. We fundraise for charities, we provide links and access to other resources that may help people, and generally do what we can to help as many people as we can with our story. The whole idea of starting DissociaDID was, if we share the things that we've learned and our experience and reduce the stigma of it, maybe less people, especially children, will have to suffer in the same way that we did, because hopefully the world will become a more understanding, accepting, and informed place when it comes to trauma-related disorders and dissociative disorders. We've made a video before about why we need your help, and that basically goes over what happened at the beginning of the pandemic in 2020. If you'd like to see that video and understand the intellectual property case that we are part of and the harassment case, at least some of it, you can find the link to that video in the description box below or up here. It's called Our Videos, What Happened to DissociaDID. But for a very, very brief rundown, around the time the pandemic began in 2020, during one of the most traumatizing times of our life, we were approached by an older man who offered us his assistance for free. He said that he didn't want to be credited and that he just wanted to help us continue doing good in the world, and hopefully, as an extension of that, continue to help the DID community by assisting us. We rejected this a number of times, but he continued to insist, and eventually we did accept. He volunteered to do this for free, saying that he didn't want any credit, and he did have some input into a disclaimer that we retroactively added to the description box of all our videos, and he had some input into the drafting of maybe 3 scripts. Our relationship broke down in November 2020 because he kept insisting on a more affectionate relationship, and we refused multiple times. We eventually tried to part ways with him, and he made copyright claims on our videos using the YouTube copyright claims system, and around the same time he started proceedings for copyright infringement against us in the court. Because we had the disclaimer in the description boxes of all of our videos years after they'd been made and uploaded by us, the individual was able to create content claims through YouTube on every video that we'd ever made. And this meant that 82 videos were removed from our channel, which essentially cut off the vast majority of our income, and our resources were being drained from having to pay for a lawyer to protect us in court because he had started the legal proceedings. Having our income cut off made defending the claim much harder. It made instructing a solicitor much harder. It made the stress in our life increase massively, and at this point, we have spent all our money on legal fees. We don't have any life savings left. That's what we were using to pay lawyers when we didn't have any other income coming in. So now we're sort of paying rent and stuff paycheck to paycheck, and we're fine, but we cannot afford a lawyer anymore. In our last video, we said that we weren't able to continue to afford our lawyer, and that we were going to be representing ourselves in person as a litigant in person in the court without a solicitor or a lawyer or any legal representation. Some of you incredible people did reach out and offer donations, support, help, and we didn't want to accept any donations, as thankful as we were, because we didn't want to take anything or ask anything because we trusted the wrong person, essentially. And we've never wanted to ask for help from you. So as much as we appreciated it, we declined, and that left us no option but to be a litigant in person. For months we did represent ourselves, but intellectual property law is extremely complicated and very, very broad. The procedural demands on us were much more than we could handle, and we were way out of our depth. We have no legal background, and the opposition has extremely well-respected, very highly specialised legal team behind him, and a very well-respected and highly specialised barrister who is very, very, very good. There's no way we could win by ourselves. As much as we wanted to do this ourselves, there's no way we can fight that kind of battle on our own. The stakes are way too high to risk just because we don't have lawyers. Our main focus is keeping DissociaDID because it helps people. And that's all we wanted to do with it. We've put years and years and years of our life, dedicated our life to DissociaDID and the content we make here, and we don't want to be silenced anymore. We don't want our voice to be taken away, and we want to continue trying to raise up other people as much as we can. And if our story and our advice helps other people, then we want that to be accessible. I don't want to lose everything we made and any future DissociaDID might have because we couldn't afford a lawyer to fight this man. We did spend a long time, months, looking for pro bono, which is essentially free legal support. It seems pretty much like it's just not done for intellectual property, really, because it is such a broad and specialised area. We reached out to charities who might be sympathetic. We looked into direct access barristers. We did all that kind of stuff. We reached out for legal advice. We did contact charities. We spoke to loads and loads of different legal firms, but our legal case hearing date for the IP case is weeks away. I'm talking like less than 2 weeks, I think 10 days. Yeah, on the day of filming this, the deadline to get the money we need is 10 days, and the hearings for the next IP case hearing is the 21st and 22nd of June. We have a defense against the claim that the opposition put in for the alleged copyright infringement. So that's one thing, the defense. Then we have a counterclaim to counter for the loss of income from him removing our videos. And then we also have a harassment claim against him, which isn't being heard until November 2022. Those are all our cases against the same person. So if any legal firm or lawyer or solicitor wanted to take on a case, they would have less than 2 weeks to catch up on all the background of it, the documents that are started from 2020, and just get completely back up to date on the case. Nobody was willing to take us on. And even the ones who did consider it, there's no way we could have afforded it. Thankfully, eventually we found a solicitor who is partnered with CrowdJustice. And CrowdJustice is a fundraising site specifically for fundraising for legal cases. The way it works is that no money touches our hands. CrowdJustice pays directly to lawyers, to the legal firm. They go and check that the lawyer is willing to be instructed on this case, and they send the money directly to them. It does not go through us. The only way that we're connected to it is by setting up an account. and then they do everything behind the scenes with the lawyer. Because this solicitor is partnered with Crowd Justice, they told us the kind of money that we would need to raise in order for them and a barrister to represent us at the next hearing, which is what we need. They said you need to set 2 targets. The first target is to essentially judge whether we'd be able to hit the full target or not. They said if we hit that target, then we at least have options. We've already hit that target, which is £40,000 in Great British currency, sterling, which is incredible. And then the main target, which is in order to cover the costs for the hearing so we can actually instruct them to represent us at the hearing, that's £68,000, Great British pounds sterling, which is an obscene amount of money. But that's what legal stuff costs. We had no idea it was this expensive before legal proceedings started. But as I said, since 2020, we've been paying for legal representation with our life savings and whatever money we were getting left from, DissociaDID and Patreon and stuff like that. We even borrowed some money at some points. And we just don't have it anymore. We've spent everything we have. And we've used all our emotional and physical resilience trying to do it ourselves as a litigant in person because we just did not want to ask for help. And we're taking that step now. We have 10 days to raise the £68,000 that we need in order to be represented at the next IP hearing. As I said, donations go straight into Crowd Justice. They don't go through us, and then Crowd Justice sends it straight to the legal firm. I've seen some people asking whether we'll get our money back for the legal costs. Unfortunately, IP Court has a cost cap for recoverable expenses at £50,000, which means that the maximum amount of money we could get back to cover the cost of legal expenses is £50,000. And we've already spent way more than that, and even this is way more than that. So no, we would not be able to get all our money back spending on legal representation. But if we win, hopefully we'll be free of all of this. I'm starting to dissociate, so I'm going to wrap this up. But basically, we've been completely overwhelmed by the response to the fundraising effort. When our lawyer said this is the kind of money that you're going to need, this is exactly the money you're going to need, we were like, there's no way we're going to get anywhere close. But I guess it's worth a try because we don't have another option. I don't know what we will do if we don't hit this money. But you guys have been absolutely phenomenal. We've already hit the first target within like 3 days or something like that. Hadn't even made a video about it on this. We just made some TikToks and some text posts, and holy balls, like you guys are incredible. Thank you so much. I don't even really know how to put it into words. I don't know how to put it into words, but thank you. And I really hope that we can hit this target. But if you can't donate, please don't feel like you need to. There is no pressure or anything like that to donate. There are other ways you can help if you would like to. Share the link to the donation site, which is www.crowdjustice.com/case/DissociaDID. Share it around, share the video around, and encourage other people to share it. Like, comment, help this video get seen, help the fundraiser get seen. If you have a following, maybe talk about it to your following, send it to your friends and family, let other content creators know what's going on. And hopefully we can hit this goal. And this amount of money is just for the next IP hearing. If there are more IP hearings afterwards, that will cost more money. This is not including the cost of the harassment case hearing in November. So we gotta win this. So anything you can spare, it would be extremely helpful. And if you can't, share it around, like, comment, subscribe, get the engagement up so people can see it and help us win this. The relief of being able to have specialist lawyers on our side and representing us would be phenomenal. We'd maybe finally get a chance to breathe for a little bit. But yeah, we're completely overwhelmed, and we love all of you so much. And yeah, I'm glad that we did ask for help, because we've done all we can up to this point. It's been 2 years of a lot. It's been a lot. But yeah, the community's response has just been beautiful. So thank you for listening, and please share what you can. And as always, we love you, stay safe, and we'll keep you updated. Lots of love, everybody. Bye.